Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about questing, and more specifically we're going to talk about lore walking in patch 11.17, which is a brand new questing experience coming to the game, which hopefully will be something we see way more of in the future. But with 11.17, this is going to be the first iteration of it, and in this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this brand new system. So what is lore walking? So lore walking is a brand new repeatable questing experience that you can do from level 10 to 80 to level up, and the XP is not that great, but the actual experience of playing through it is super fun. Essentially, a system is just like a quest line hyper focusing on a certain topic to kind of tell you the story of this through in-game means, with Lorewalker Cho kind of guiding you through and narrating and giving extra context when you do need it, which I think is just so great. And this feature has so much potential to be incredible for telling stories in World of Warcraft in the future and giving players a new way to learn the lore of the game. So from launch, there's actually going to be 3 stories to play through that you can play through as many times as you like while leveling from 10 to 80, and you can do it at max level as well for some rewards. So the first story is going to be a story about the Ethereals. This is going to take you through some questing in Netherstorm. Then you're going to head over to Argus and play the story through there, which will eventually lead you into meeting the brokers and things like that, and playing through the Tazavesh story in Shadowlands, with also like a little bit of a tease for the next patch as well. The fact that they're telling the story of the Ethereals is not a coincidence here. It's very likely that 11.2 will feature the Ethereals, and this is a really great way to learn more about them and experience some of those older quest lines from the game and some new ones. Another story they're going to tell is all about xal'atath. In this story, you're going to head through some of the questing in Legion and in Battle for Azeroth, and doing some of the interesting, important quest lines back from those expansions. It's also a brand new part inside Ny'alotha with some pretty major story implications and some cutscenes here, which I'm not going to spoil as they are very, very cool. But yes, there's a lot of very interesting lore to be told through lore walking. And the final story you can choose is the story of Arthas. Of course, we've played through the story a ton of times, but we have some brand new parts here where we're going to play as Arthas in Lordaeron, training troops and things like that. Then we experience the culling of Stratholme once again, then over to Northrend, then the Halls of Reflection. Then we get to play as the Lich King at the end, actually being the final boss of the Icecrown Citadel raid. This is really cool, not really relevant to anything that's going on in the story, but of course the story of Arthas is legendary. I would imagine from a development point of view, this is probably the first one they did, just to kind of show kind of a concept of this system, and I really like it a lot. So those are the 3 stories. You have Ethereal, xal'atath, and Arthas. Now, there is also a hidden 4th story, which is not available on the PTR and not been mentioned anywhere in the marketing, but there is a ton of voice lines and quests and things in the game for it, and this is featuring the elves. So in this story, it seems like you would play through part of the Blood Elf Heritage Armor quest line, and then parts of the Nightborn and Void Elf quest unlocks, kind of telling you a bit more story. I would imagine this is probably something to do with Midnight and will come later on. But yeah, there is audio and cutscenes and even an image to select it featured in the game files. So yeah, I would imagine this is just going to come later on. But very much excited to see more stories being played out through the system. As I probably alluded to, a lot of it is just older quest lines that you may have already played through before, obviously just at the appropriate level you're at and with the extra context of Cho, which makes it kind of nice. So let's go through what we'd expect from a gameplay point of view here. So this is started from Lorewalker Cho. He is located in Stormwind, Orgrimmar, and in Dornogal. This is actually marked on the map with a little book icon. And then you open up the UI and choose a quest line that you would like to pursue. It does tell you the rewards there as well, which we'll go through in a minute. And basically, as you go through, you have a lore walking icon on the right-hand side. This allows you to leave whenever you like, so you can just leave the kind of questing and then return as long as you don't start another lore walking experience. And also, you can kind of stop and ask Cho questions if you really wanted to. So if you're a little confused on what's going on, you can stop, you can ask Cho what the heck's going on, and he'll give you the answers you're looking for, and then you can return to your questing, which I think is a really great way of doing it, especially if you get a bit confused or accidentally skip some dialogue or anything like that. But as you go through, you just be completing quests. Some of these quests will reward a box which contains some leveling gear, and at max level you also get some weathered crests and valor stones if that's something you're after while doing this. But as mentioned, there are actual like overall rewards for doing each of the stories. So for the Ethereals, you're going to get the Koresh Memory Crystal. Using this toy will actually transform you into an Ethereal or Broker for 10 10 minutes with a 30-minute cooldown. For the xal'atath story, you're going to get the Echo of Xal'atath, Blade of the Black Empire. This is an hour-long buff with no cooldown that actually has xal'atath whispering you at random with voice lines. So while you're just playing through the game, xal'atath is just going to shout at you and say random things, which I believe is what happened with Shadow Priest in Legion. The final toy is the Royal Visage toy. This is from the Arthas storyline. This turns you into the Ghost of Arthas for 5 minutes with a 30-minute cooldown. So yeah, 3 toys to be acquired from 1117 with Lorewalking, but that's kind of it. It's not super deep. It's actually a really cool thing, though. I really enjoyed playing through it, and having that extra context from Cho and hearing that buttery smooth voice acting is just always fantastic. And I really hope this is a system that they continue to do in future patches to just give you more context and a better way to experience the story in World of Warcraft, because I do feel like a lot of quest lines don't get the attention they deserve, and you don't quite get the full context of what is going on. So great feature. Very much looking forward to the future of it. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on this. What stories would you like to see experienced through the Lorewalking system? There's so much potential here, and I think it's going to be great. But guys, if you did like this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to support me outside of YouTube, I'm also on Patreon, and I'm on Twitter at MrGMYT, and I have a partner Discord channel as well. And also, I am streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. I'm going to see me streaming World of Warcraft, War Within, 1117, prepping for Legion Remix, tons of stuff going on stream. So if you want to check me out, guys, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.